On the ball like Mitchell, or you can be like Reynolds and Skiffle. Give it a Johnston and you'll get triple. Pass it to Cleary, you know he'll run the pitch. Score points like Jaboyevich. I'm game day fit, no need a switch. Cooking up like Cookie Man's in the kitchen. Who's that on the wing? It's Sivo. Score, try and do the Guffrino. Don't get too rowdy or too keen, or you'll end up like Hassan Tino. Get a 40-20 like BCE. Run the ball like hectic cheese. Support runner, that's Pappenhausen, but I still got Teddy at the SCG.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. We've got this the second part of the season reviews coming at you today. Over the next few days, if you haven't been following our Instagram, we're going to be doing the outsider four today. Then we'll be doing the insider four. So the outsider four is 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th. Insider four is 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th. And then we'll do the top four on Thursday, I think. So, boys, thanks for joining me. Obviously, Davos is looking very, very well dressed today. Faraz has got on his Broncos gear to talk about the Broncos. Obviously, we'll obviously give as much time to each club as possible, and we'll be starting with the lower clubs and working our way up, just like we did with the first episode. So that means, boys, we'll be starting with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. I feel like there's going to be some different opinions here on the season they had. I guess we'll have to see. But, we'll find out first. Boys, we'll quickly talk about the season they had before we get on to the actual the parts I have to put up on the screen. What were your thoughts on the season they had, boys? We'll start off with Davos.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the start of the year, you know, they made all these signings and big name signings, and they were a very structured team at the start. And I think the sacking of Trent Barrett actually proved to be a really good one because, you know, under Mick Potter, they played really well. Like they played like they were free and, you know, they weren't a structured team at all. And, you know, the likes of, you know, Burton, Addo Carr, you know, started playing really well. Flanagan got back into form and, you know, Carraz, you know, they all played really well under Potter. So, look, it was definitely, you know, a very slow start to the year, but as the year got on, they kept improving.
Definitely, I agree. What about you, Faraz?
I'm just going to say this. If Trent Barrett didn't get sacked, they're probably going to get the spoon.
Really?
They had losses to the West Tigers before the Knights. I just think that if Barrett didn't get sacked, they got the spoon, in my opinion. So once Potter took over, they...
Thank you, Faraz, for that short stint. Lockie, what about you, mate?
I think it was. I mean, it started off round one. They beat the Cowboys in North Queensland on a very wet day, 6-4. I believe that game was. I'd rather watch paint dry than rewatch those highlights. But they were very structured. I think they were too structured. I think Barrett was putting too much pressure on, which didn't let Flanagan and Burton free the arms. But. And then again, when Potter came to the realm, I think they definitely looked a much better side at the back end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. As Faraz has joined us back, Faraz, did you have anything to add on the previous statements you made?
I think when Potter came back, I think when he took over, the Bulldogs started scoring much more points. They were opening the arms much more freely, like Lachlan said. They were like youngsters emerging from all over the place. But look, I'm keen for the Bulldogs in 2023. There's hope there.
I agree. We might be doing a ladder predictions video for the 2023 season. So it'll probably be sometime next year. We're trying to finish up the NRL stuff, but I definitely have them improving. For me personally, I honestly think the season for the Bulldogs was not as bad as I first thought. Like once I went back and looked, I thought actually they had a few close games there. There's a few times they lost by a short, a small margin where if they clinched that win, would have catapulted up a bit. I feel like where they finished though, they're obviously going to improve next season. And I guess we'll see what happens there. Boys. Sorry, what was that?
Showing a lot of promise at the back end of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Most valued player, boys. We'll start off with that one. I'm not sure what the laughing's about, but Lachlan's just absolutely giggling at something. Lachlan, what is it? Is this having to do with Faraz's internet?
Hey, he's got bloody internet like Parenzo Vids.
We love Proenzo. We want to get him on at some point, but yeah, okay. Most valued player. I'll start off with Faraz is frozen, and he's okay. Faraz, we'll start off with you. Who was your?
Oh no, he's gone now.
He
I
didn't
think
want to
Faraz
answer
is
the
going to the
question.
place where Davos just came back from.
India. No, sorry. Davos, we'll start with you then.
Yep.
Who was your most valued player for the season?
Look, this is a pretty simple one for me. I'd have to go with Matt Burton. I thought he was outstanding the whole season for the Dogs in a struggling team. And as the season went on, he just kept getting better and better with those big torpedoes off his big left foot. And, I feel like next year, with a Reid Marnie and Kickout coming, he's only going to get better. And there was a reason why he played in the centres for the Blues. So he's a very good player and he's only going to get better. So he was outstanding.
Definitely. I agree. Lachlan, what about you?
Yeah, I'll probably have to go the same. You'd probably have to go Matt Burton. He was really the standout in that club all year. He came from a brilliant system at Penrith, which then came through the system at Canterbury, and you could just see by the end of the year how strong him and his two wingers were, Addo and Carraz. And then you got Averillo running off the back of that, and then Flanagan was finding form as well. But it all comes back to Burton, and for sure for me, he's the most valued player at that club.
Definitely, I agree. For me, it's Matt Burton. Just like you boys, I think Burton really proved that he's as good as six as people were saying when Bulldogs first signed him after the first few rounds, where Burton wasn't exactly, performing the way they expected him to. People were calling for him to be moved back into the centres, which I thought was just completely stupid. And he proved at the end of the season why he should stay. I honestly think, and Davos, this is no hate on your favorite, probably your favorite Bulldogs player, but I think Burton is playing more a 7 at the moment than Kyle Flanagan is. Burton does the majority of the kicking, majority of the playmaking. I have a feeling the only reason he's wearing the 6 on his back is just to be on that side with Josh Addo. I mean, he could do it if he was wearing the 7 as well, but I guess we'll have to find out what happens next year. But if the rumors are true and Flanagan is on the out, I'm not sure. Unless they sign a marquee halfback, I could see Burton moving to 7. But I guess we'll have to find out. Most improved player, boys. Yes. So we'll start off with Lachlan for this one.
For me, it's going to be Max King. I think at the start of the year, he signed to a new club. He was coming off the bench. He even was out of the team at stages, and then by the end of the year, he was starting front rower, and he was making over 150 meters a game. I met him here in Bundy when they came against the Cowboys, and he's as good as a bloke off the field as he is on the field, and he was a clear standout against every club this year. You could always back him. I think he's going to be the next Josh Jackson for that club if they can keep it around.
That's a big raps to put on him. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, I'm going to go in a different direction here. I'm actually going to say my man, Kyle Flanagan, to be honest. Look, obviously he started the season on the outer and plugging around reserve grade. But, when he came back in against the Panthers, which he was thrown to the Wolves to a certain degree, he played really well. And throughout the whole season, I feel like his combinations with, Marshall King, Burton, and Averillo just kept improving. And, he does a little 1% as well. And he's extremely good in defense. So I thought he was probably the most improved player this year.
Yeah, that's a fair point. For me, it's quite a tough one, most improved player. There's a few to choose from. I think, obviously, as Faraz is actually back with some good internet and in a good setup, I'll add him to the stream now, Faraz. Good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, I'm just in my brother's room. I don't know how long I'll be here for, but yeah, I can just use it for now.
Yep. Okay, I'll ask you your opinion, most improved player first before I do mine.
Well, I'm probably going to go the same with Rookie of the Year. I think Jacob Carraz. I think he was consistent when he came in. First game against the Brisbane Broncos, took a good Tony Staggs. Ever since, he's been a shining light for them, and he's going to be a great player, no doubt.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, I have a feeling I was actually quite impressed with Raymond Faitala Mariner. I reckon he improved a lot. Towards the end, he was playing really good in that 13 position. But Kyle Flanagan definitely, I think, improved from what people were hating on him when he was at the Roosters and last year. So this year, I think he did improve. But I don't think he's a 7 yet. I think he needs a bit more variety in his, for instance, his kicks and stuff. But I definitely think he was their most improved player. He was up there with a few. But boys, best signing. I think this one's pretty clear, but this time we actually are well prepared. Unlike last time, we have got a few written down on the side of our screen, boys. So I'll quickly read out for you. So you can choose Josh Adokar, Matt Burton, Tavita Pangai Jr., Paul Vaughan, Max King, Braden Burns, Josh Cook, and Matt Duffy. If you really want to, you can choose Matt Duffy. But there's a few more. There's a few more I probably haven't seen. But boys, who do you reckon is your signing of the year for the Bulldogs? We'll start with Faraz.
It's got to be Matt Burton easily. He was a big part of most of the wins this season. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think you chose the wrong Matt, but I'll go to Lockie and see if he can fix up Faraz's mistake there.
You've got to go with Matt Burton as well, I believe. He was kicking bombs higher than Kevin Proctor was in a cubicle. There's no doubt about he was the best signing all year, and Adokar would come second, and I don't even know who would come third, to be honest. All the other blokes, apart from Max King, sort of didn't do anything really.
What about you, Davos?
Yeah, it's pretty clear. Matt Burton, he's just a superstar, and the fact that he's only 22, 23, he's got so many years in this league to come. He's a fabulous player.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Matt Duffy. I feel like what he brought to the Bulldogs side was unmatched, and sad to see him leave. But honestly, Matt Burton, brilliant. Played Origin this year. Was great. People were saying he shouldn't have left the Panthers, and now there's talks he's possibly going to be extended on his contract until the end of 2027 or something like that. So good on him. I actually hope he stays at the Bulldogs. I actually really enjoy watching him and Adokar. I like the connection they have there. So I guess we'll have to see what happens, but Matt Burton, definitely the signing of the year for me for the Bulldogs. Now, boys, Rookie of the Year. Again, this one was actually only a few choices here. We've got Jacob Carraz, Jackson Topine, I think that's how you pronounce it, don't want to butcher it, Harrison Edwards, and Declan Casey. I think there's a standout here for me, but I'll ask you boys either way. We'll start with Lockie.
You got to go Jacob Carraz. He was a try-scoring machine at the end of the year. He just built his season beautifully, and he's locked himself a wing spot next year, that's for sure. I don't see anyone else taking his position. He's a young gun. They've got to lock him up. They can't lose a talent like him. Yeah,
definitely. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Got to go Carraz. I mean, the game he played against, I think his debut was against the Broncos, I think. And he was fabulous that game. Like, he was one of the only players that actually put in effort against the Broncos. But they've got to keep him, I think, on the right edge, I'm pretty sure. So he's a great player.
And Faraz, what about you, mate?
It's got to be Jacob Carraz. Jackson Topine was probably the next best way to play a lot of games. Carraz is a standout. Tries scoring freak. His running game is also freakish as well. Averages like 180 per game. Yeah, he's just consistent.
For me, I think I'm going to go with Jacob Carraz, but I'm going to throw this out here. I think if Declan Casey played more games than he did, because I think he played a game at fullback and he looks damaging. So I wouldn't be surprised because I'm hearing reports they're trying to shop out Jake Avarilla and they're trying to get Dane Laurie. Not sure how true those reports are. But if they don't get Dane Laurie, and if they seem to not want to stick with Jake Avarilla for who knows why, I'd be playing Declan Casey at fullback. And speaking of which, I'm actually going to go back. Most improved, I actually reckon it has to be Jake Avarilla for me. I'm going to go back and change that now because I'm just thinking about it now. His last few games at fullback were absolutely amazing. They performed well.
Do you know what my call is?
What's your call?
In this off-season, Josh Reynolds will sign with Belmore.
I think that's.
I'm pretty sure it's already been confirmed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he uploaded a tweet about it.
Official?
Nothing official has been posted on the Bulldogs, but I think Gus Gould confirmed it, and Josh Reynolds said happy to be coming home.
See, what would their halves pairing be? You would just have to let Flanagan go.
They have probably have to keep them. Probably have to keep Flanagan at 7.
If
I
I
think-
was the Bulldogs, I would
What
be
about Hastings?
releasing Flanagan. I'll be releasing Flanagan to get Reynolds, and then I would be. If I was the Tigers, I would be trying to get Flano.
Wow.
Because if it's true that Luke Brooks is going to Newcastle,
Yeah,
then
that's fair.
they need a halfback.
I mean, but in that case, do you play Flanagan or Hastings at 7?
Yeah.
I would keep Hastings a lock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
we'll talk about that on another day. So, Rookie of the Year. Anyone not gone yet, or have we all? talked
We've all
about-
gone,
we've
I'm
all
pretty
picked
sure.
Faraz. We've all gone Karaz. Pass or foul season, boys, and finishing grade. We'll start with Faraz.
Look, there's a lot of hope for the Bulldogs. They finished well with a bang, but still got to be a fail. I mean, 6-7 wins in a season of 24, 25 games, not enough. They did improve though, for sure. It's sort of like the Broncos last year. There's a lot of hope for next season to look forward to, but still a fail.
Lockie, what about you?
Yeah, it's a foul for me as well. Probably have to give him just a flat D, probably.
Yep, same.
What about you, Davos?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fail for me, but I'm actually going to be a bit lighter on the Dogs. I'm actually going to give them a C+, to be honest.
Okay.
Look, I know you boys are probably going to bag me.
Pass mark, ding dong.
Is it a pass?
Yes.
All right,
Just give it a pass then.
But I don't know. See, they're
I'll
like
tell you
50-50.
what.
They had a
Your
very good
stoop
year.
doesn't make you so smart, does it?
But like, I don't know.
They still had their embarrassing moments as well.
That's very
That
true.
Warriors game.
I'll give him a D there. You know, it's still a foul season, but there are some bright spots in the Dogs. So, yeah.
I'm going to pass the Bulldogs. I'm going to give them a C, leaning towards a C minus, just because I feel like towards the end of the season, I'm basing the results off that. Towards
It's
the
a
end
whole
of the season,
season.
they
You
were
got to look
playing
at it as
very
a whole
well.
season, though.
But I mean, going into they're improving, and that's what I'm mainly looking
Shouldn't
at.
the Broncos have been a C last year then, based on their second half performances?
No, they were still losing many games. The Bulldogs were
The Bulldogs are
putting
still
up
losing
fight-
many games too. They won.
They
They
put
won the
up-
same
they
amount
put
as
up-
the Broncos.
They put up a fight against the Cowboys.
Brisbane
I
nearly beat
mean,
the Panthers twice last year. They beat the Roosters once. They got robbed once. It's the same. And I'm not being biased, but it's the same picture.
we'll move on to the Broncos soon, Faraz. Well, I'm not changing my mind. I'm going C or C minus for the Bulldogs. I honestly reckon they had a good season. Predicted finish compared. I mean, especially when you look at the points. Broncos only finished on like 14 points last season. But
they defended really well.
otherwise-
They played quality sides, though. They
I
played
know,
quality
but-
sides, each to their own.
you have to look at it. I feel like they should have overtaken Manly, the Bulldogs, and also ladder positions and stuff. But predicted finish compared to actual finish, boys. Where did you have them finishing compared to where they actually did? We'll start with Faraz.
I actually have them 13, so I was just this close. A lot of people were hyping them up, saying they're going to make the year. I still thought they were a year away. They made a few false signings with Brent Naden, Matt Duffy, and obviously those guys are gone. But they've signed really well for next year. They're heading to the right direction. I think they'll be fighting for the top 8. Whether they make it or not, I don't know. But I'm going to say this right now. I feel like they're in a much better position than Manly right now with all the drama and hype there. But I'll talk about Manly just then. But yeah, I think there's a lot to like about the Bulldogs heading to 2023.
Yeah, I agree. Davos, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of the blokes that actually believes in the Dogs hype. To be quite honest, I had him at 9th. I'm pretty sure. You know, just contending for the 8. I mean, I believe that with their signings they would go really well. But yeah, it was a bit of that was one that I missed pretty badly.
Yeah, that's fair. And Lockie?
I had him 10th.
Yeah, I had them. I think I had them 11th or 10th or 11th. So pretty close. I didn't think they'd make the 8. I don't know why. Well, the signings, they were sort of just flash, like smoke and lights, but realistically, it's what's going on at the club and the coach you have. And Trent Barrett was just not it. So, yeah. Now, boys, will they improve, drop, or stay the same in 2023? Just say the word, then we'll move on to Manly. So, what about you, Davos? What's your thoughts?
Improve.
Lockie?
Improve.
And Faraz?
Improve.
Yeah, I agree. Improve.
Yeah,
Dramatically.
lock it in, Eddie.
Lock it in. All four have said it. And we'll move on to Manly. We're trying to get this done in record time. We don't want to go for another hour here. So, boys, Manly, we'll have a quick touch up on their season. I'll let Faraz start. I know he's been itching to talk about Manly.
Oh, Manly, I had in my top 4 to begin with, so that's a big miss there. You know what's funny about Manly? A lot of people say if Turbo played the whole season, they probably make the 8. I'm just going to say this right now. They were still bang average with him. Like, he still played in the games where they got smashed by the Broncos 38-0. They won 5 out of 11, which is not bad, but it's not a pass mark 50%. They still had wins. They still beat the Bulldogs. They beat the Knights and all that. Not really much impressive. And once Turbo went down, you kind of knew the season was done. And look, I'll still give them credit. They weren't that bad. They were still fighting for the 8, but they were never close for me. And the whole gay pride jersey stuff happened. So, yeah, what a fall from grace for Manly.
Yeah. Lockie?
Yeah, since the whole jersey saga, they sort of felt as shit, to be honest. Their whole season was so up and down every week. You didn't know if they were going to run out a good team or a bad team. With some teams in the NRL, that's just the new normal. The Tigers, Bulldogs, Manly now. And now Des Hasler's gone. Anthony Seibolt's probably going to come and destroy another roster.
Yep.
I don't know what to think about Manly anymore, to be honest. After the season they just had, I didn't have them in the top 8 this year, but I didn't have them where they finished. They are definitely a much better side than what they showed, but next year they're going to have to pull the finger out. And to be honest, there's not that many. They haven't made that many signings yet. They've lost a lot of players.
Davos, what about you?
I think Manly's season was just very filled with off-field dramas, to be quite honest, which hurt the club and didn't help that probably one of the best players in the comp, Tom Trbojevic, went down. But it was just a horrible year for Manly.
Yeah, I agree. Same reasons all you boys have said. I don't think I really need to touch on that. But boys, most valued player, who you reckon was their best? We'll start off with Faraz. I think this is a pretty tough one.
Oh, probably have to be someone like maybe Josh Alloway. I'm not sure, man. Maybe Ruben Garrick. He was all right, but most of them good players like Jason Saab last year, all those point scoring players, they just went to bed after Toby got injured. So not really much to choose from because Toby made those players even much better than what they were.
Exactly, I agree. Lockie?
Yeah, mine probably has to be Ruben Garrick. I think all year he was their standout. He had to fill in at fullback, which I think he was brilliant for when he played in position for Tommy Turbo. I think even in the future, it sounds ridiculous, but you could even put Turbo in the centres and have Garrick at your fullback if you really wanted to. It's an option if they want to take it. But I think for me, yeah, Garrick probably is the standout.
Davos?
Yeah, I'm going to get a lot of controversial opinions here, but I'm actually going to go with the skipper DCE. I felt like, even though like he cops a lot of brunt and hate, and I know Manly had a pretty horrible year. I don't know. I just felt like he still came out on the park every week, still tried his guts out, and he won an Origin for God's sake. Like, how much can you have on the block?
I don't remember his name being Lindsay Collins.
Anyone who knows Davos knew as soon as this question was asked that's what Davos was going to say. Fair play. DC, I reckon, was up there. He was performing most weeks. For me, it's Kieran Foran or Ruben Garrick. I might go Kieran Foran just to be a bit different. I think he had that was his first injury-free season in a long time. I think he played every game of the year, every minute as well. So congrats to him. He played really well. But yeah, it is what it is. I think Kieran Foran, most improved player, boys. As I'm not sure where Faraz has gone, but he may be here. Who knows? Most improved player. Here are there's no candidates for this, so just choose who you want. I'll let either of you start.
There's only one name that comes to mind. Probably Christian Topolulu, the winger. I think that's just about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. What about either of you two, Lockie or Davos, whoever wants to go?
Go on, ladies first.
Sorry, mate. I'm actually going to go with Ruben Garrick because, his game went from he was obviously a very, very good winger, but his game improved so much when he went to fullback. Like he was making around 200 meters a game, and he was influential at fullback. So I'm going to put him as most improved.
I'm going to go different to both of them. I'm going to go Alokawatu. I think this year he was unreal in his first 2/3 of the season. He was a try scoring machine. You could back him nearly every week to go over the line with DCE on that short pass ball. He would always barge over for one at least. But then the back end hurt him a bit. He definitely quieted down, but I think for me he was definitely most improved.
Yeah, that's fair. I might go different. I might go Josh Allier. I think he was definitely had his best season so far. That's a tough one. But I'm going to go, has to be Allier or Christian Tuipulotu for me, and I'll go Allier just to be different. Best signing, boys. So I'll quickly go to the candidates for best signing for the Seagulls. Ethan Bullymore. Yep, that's all. Okay, boys. So who's your best signing for the Seagulls this season? We'll start with Davos on this one. This is a pretty hard pick.
Yeah, it's a very hard pick. I'm going to go with Ethan Bullymore. I mean, he played a few cameos off the bench, and that's all I'll say.
Lockie?
I don't know. There was a few standouts for me, but I think you have to. I don't know. Some blokes definitely played a key role who were new to the club. I think, but you probably have to go with Ethan Bullymore here for me. I just think when he played really well. But I think for me, the best signing for Manly was definitely Ethan Bullymore.
Faraz, what's going through your mind?
I'm not even saying Ethan Bullymore. I'm not saying anyone. Bullymore didn't play enough games for me, I feel.
No, you have to choose someone, Faraz.
You have to choose someone.
Oh, this is so tough, but in a close one, I'm going to go Ethan Bullymore.
Yeah. For me, it's going to make it a clean sweep. I'm going to go Ethan Bullymore. I just think he was better than End this season. So Ethan Bullymore for the win. Boys, rookie of the year for the Seagulls. This time we actually have a few choices. How many? Two choices. Tolotau, Kula, or Ben Trebojevic. I think this one will actually have a few different ones. So I'll start off with Davos because I think I know who he's going.
I'm going Ben Trebojevic. Obviously, the Seagulls are lucky to have, Jakey and Tommy there, but, Ben's he'll be a very good player to come, and, I'm pretty sure he can play in the back row and the centres, and I thought he was pretty good this year when he played. So, definitely him, one to look out for.
Lockie, what about you?
For me, you've definitely got to go Cooler. I think
Easily.
It's pretty obvious pick for me. The bloke is legit playing fullback for Tonga in the World Cup currently. Ben Trebojevic would be good luck making his local under-12 team currently. So for me, it's definitely Cooler this year.
Faraz?
For me, this is a close caller. Look, Ben's a good player, but I feel a lot of people give him more raps because of his last name and because of his brother. But look, I think Koala is the next big thing for Manly. He's an exciting young player. His speed as well. Yeah. And he's played fullback for Tonga in the World Cup. So, yeah, I'm keen to see how he goes.
I'm keen to see how Koala goes as well, mate. I'm keen to see how he goes. Pass or fail season, boys, with a finishing grade. We'll go through this pretty quickly. We're going on pass. So pass or fail, finishing grade. We'll quickly run through this. Faraz.
Fail. It's not.
And finishing grade, mate?
F. I'm going to give him an F.
F, yeah, that's fair. Lockie?
I'm going to go a fail, but I'll go a B+. I just think... I'll give him a D-.
Yeah. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, this is a tough one, to be quite honest. I mean,
really?
I'm tossing and turning between...
Is it really?
No, I'm joking. It's a big fail. And definitely an F.
Yeah. Same for me. Fail and F. Nothing else I can really
That was
say
quick.
there. Yep. Predicted finish compared to actual finish, boys. There's two more. I forgot. Okay. So I'll actually start for once. I had Manly finishing third or second. They finished 12th, 11th or something. So way off. Just like the Tigers finishing ninth this year. I had them.
And you're still placing them ninth.
I'm placing them ninth next year. I'm putting in the hope in them. But what about you, Faraz?
Just like you, mate, I had them in the top four. I had them fourth.
Lockie.
I'm 12th.
Oh,
So you had them lower than they actually finished. Wow.
Yeah, so actually,
Wait, can I just ask Lockie this? Lockie, were you basing it off on how Tommy Tobo was going to go with his injuries, or do you just have them generally 12?
Nah, sort of just Manly's that team where they'll make the 8, they'll make a prelim against Rabbitohs, and then they'll miss the 8, which is exactly what happened. I don't know. I just had a gut feeling that they wouldn't finish in the 8, and my gut feeling was correct. But I think next year, they're going to finish lower than 12th.
Yeah. Davos, what about you? We'll get to that in a second.
yeah. I mean, pretty bad one as well. I had Manly pinned at 6th, but yeah, that was wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Am I the only one with brains in here or what?
Will they improve, drop, or stay the same in the 2023 season? I think we'll all have the same answer, except maybe Faraz. So we'll start with Faraz first. Faraz, what's your thoughts, mate?
I think they're going to say the same, honestly. Look, if Desi wasn't going to be sacked, if they kept Des Hasler, I think with Tommy Toby coming back, I think they would have made the 8 next year. But I think with Seaboard now, I think they're going to stay where they are. They've got no hope in 2023. I don't care if Tommy Toby plays next year. I don't care if Toby plays next year.
Who have they signed for us? And that's all we have.
Probably Ethan will be more. Davos?
I have him going bloody down. Yeah, there's just not much to say. Who have they signed? Who have they signed? And it's just new coach, new off-field drama.
They got Seabold, big man. Got him to the top
That's
4.
fair. And Lachlan, it's now your turn. Who?
Okay.
Where have you got them, Lockie?
Okay, we won't do sound effects again, will we?
No.
I've got them dropping. I've got them down, mate.
Without giving anything away, I've got them right down the bottom. I think they'll be contending for the spoon. So
What?
Yeah.
Even with Turbo?
I agree with Noah.
Even with Turbo?
Turbo's nothing.
What? So the Knights have Kalen Ponga, and they were contending for the spoon.
Don't compare Ponga to what Turbo.
Knights and Manly will be the main 2 spoon contenders next year.
Manly aren't getting the spoon with Turbo. Look, they'll definitely stay where they are, but I don't think there's any chance of the spoon with Turbo. If he doesn't play next year, then I think maybe a chance. But
Faraz, would you
Excuse
say?
me, Buzz Rockfield, calm down.
Would you say if Manly won the spoon, you'd jump off a cliff?
Nah, mate.
Nah.
But if I did say that, I'll actually keep my promise.
Oh, there we go. Knew that was coming out. St. George, boys. Mediocre season. I'll let you boys talk about it. I don't really care to say anything about it. What did you boys think of their season? We'll start with Davos.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 things. One, when you've got the talent of Talatau Amone, Tyrell Sloan, Jaden Sullivan, why the hell are you not playing them? I mean, it just shows. I mean, it baffles me the fact that Griffin would rather play Moses Mbai at fullback over Tyrell Sloan. Like, it baffles me. But the Dragons, except for Ben Hunt, are bloody hopeless. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that Hook needs to be sent to the sin bin or sent off?
Mate, more than that, he can go jump off a cliff.
Oh, big words coming out.
Do you know what I say?
What?
I say Hook's racist.
I agree.
Actually,
No, I can't say
Actually,
that. Can't really accuse him of racism. You know what I mean?
I'm joking, Faraz.
I
Calm down, Buzz. Sit in your corner.
will not write an article. Relax, mate.
all I heard. No, actually, I'm not going to say what I heard because I would probably get banned. Faraz, what's your thoughts on their season in like 30
do I
words or
have to
less?
talk about the Dragons or well?
Okay, no, you don't have to. Most valued player.
I'm joking.
Most valued.
Okay, look. All I'm going to say is Ben Hunt. That's all I've got to say about the Dragons.
Okay.
Ben Hunt.
Well, most valued player. I think we all know
Looks
who
like
it
we're
is.
keeping Dragons short and sweet here.
Yep, short and sweet, boys. Who's most valued player? We could say it on 3 if we really wanted to. 1, 2, 3. Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt.
It's as simple as that. Who else is it going to be? Most improved player.
Moses Sully. I feel.
Yeah,
Moses
Sully's up there. I'm going to go Talatau Moan. I think.
I agree.
No.
I go with no. I'll go Talatau
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
true.
And Lockie, what do you reckon? He's thinking. He's giving this a big think. He might be
Actually,
saying
you
he
know
can bully
what?
more.
No. Tatalmone, yeah, probably. But you've got to give credit where credit's due. And I would have Cody Ramsey up there as well.
Yeah,
That's
he's
Oh,
gunner
Ramsey's
fullback.
actually a good
Yeah.
shout. That's a really good
He was
shout.
gunner fullback.
The kid was on the wing last year, was on and off the field with, I think he injured a jaw or something at the end of the year. This year, wasn't even in the team to start the year. And then for the second half of the year, he was at fullback. And I think he did a brilliant job at fullback.
I think he was. I'm going to say this right now. I think he actually performed better than Sloan did. So I got that part of why Hook wasn't playing Sloan. But I mean, yeah, racist, maybe. Best signing, boys. Who are we thinking? I have to check. Here are the choices for the Dragons: Moses Empire, Moses Sully, Jaden Sewer, Aaron Woods, Tautau Moga, Francis
Woods.
George Burgess, and Jack Gazeski. I think that's Gazuski. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but what do you reckon, boys? We'll start off with Davos.
Moses Sully for me. Before he got injured, I think he was leading the comp. I think in tackles broken. I'm pretty sure, something like that. But he was fabulous before he got broken. But yeah, great signing from the Dragons there.
Breaking news: Moses Sully is now broken. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, for me, it's got to be Jaden Sewer. I think the guy brought more than what people thought to the club. He brought the intensity in defense, which is what they needed. He also brought the ball playing, attack, the hard runner, hits lines well. For me, Moses Sully was brilliant, but for me, the standout was Jaden Sewer.
He did bring them a lot of things, a few sin bins included. What about you for us?
Oh, sorry. Who did Lachlan just say? I was just paying attention on my phone.
Jaden Sewer.
That was the same as mine. I was going to go Jaden Sewer. I think Jaden Sewer, he was really consistent. I think he should definitely be in the Maroons team, so in the squad. His defense is wonderful. His attacking game is also like exquisite through the middle. I like Jaden Sewer as a player. He's really hardworking.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to even this out. I reckon it's Moses Sully. Same reasons Davos said. No reason really to ramble on about it.
Wait, isn't Sewer leaving to the Dolphins or?
No, that's
no.
not. I think you might be talking about Farmer Sully, I think.
Yeah, Farmer Sully. Works in a pharmacist. Rookie of the year, boys. I don't think there's too many choices here, actually. For the Dragons, the only two I could really find are Tyrell Sloan by one game. He's still considered a rookie. And Jonathan Rubin, who only played like one game. So I think it's a pretty simple thing, but we'll go around anyway. Lockie, we'll start with you.
Sorry. Well, for who's listed, you've got to go Sloan, to be honest. Like, you can't. As bad as his year was mentally and how he was in the game, I think you still got to back him. He's no doubt a talent. He's one we're going to watch for the future, and he'll definitely earn a spot somewhere in the competition. Not sure where, but he'll definitely burst onto the scene when he does get that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Faraz, who's your rookie of the year for the Dragons?
Probably say Jonathan Rubin with not much options to choose from. I really don't know who else to go with. I don't know why you give me that face, mate. The Dragons
Sloan?
is diabolical.
Sloan plays cricket.
What's
Sloan
Sloan?
play golf now for us.
Sloan, yeah,
Sloan play golf.
I didn't know Sloan was a rookie. I thought he already played much more games
I
before.
just listed
Okay.
the rookie contentions for us.
Calm down. Horace Sloan then, all right?
Faraz, I will actually no. Okay, Faraz. So let's do this over again. Faraz, who was your rookie of the year for this
It's got to
season?
be Tara Sloan, easily, mate.
Oh, good pick. I agree. For me, Tyrell Sloan as well. We're going through the Dragons pretty quickly. I think they really had a really mediocre season. Pass or fail season and the finishing grade, boys. We'll start off with Faraz.
Fail. Nothing much more. Somehow they were still in the race for the 8. Somehow, but fail.
And what's the finishing grade on that?
We'll give it a D minus.
Ooh, okay. Lockie?
It was a fail. I'll give him a D.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Davos?
Yeah, it's a fail. I mean, they haven't made finals since I think 2018. So, yeah, same as you boys. I'll give them a D.
I'm going to give them a fail and give them about a D plus. I think that's fair. I feel like most of the season they played really well.
Can I just say one thing about the Dragons? One
Yeah.
of the biggest letdowns for me this year with the Dragons, though, was Zach Lomax.
Yeah,
I agree.
Easily.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a weak gutted dog. Predicted finish compared to actual finish, boys. Where do you think the Dragons would finish? I'm probably going to embarrass myself here again. We'll start off with Davos.
Yeah, I actually had the Dragons 11th, so I wasn't far off. I wasn't that far off, but yeah, I like I said, I just the club's just in shambles. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Lockie?
I had them 8th. I had them in the top 8. I had them to sneak in. After all signings and everything, I just thought they were going to go up this year, especially with Ben Hunt. And, I thought they were going to challenge the 8 or make the 8, which is what I had them. But clearly, I was wrong.
Yeah, I had the 8th as well. What about you, Faraz?
I had the 10th just before the Titans at 9. So, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
I didn't fall for the hype, but I thought they would improve for sure.
I had them finishing 8th, and I really thought, I'll talk about Broncos soon because I had them finishing somewhere around there as well. Will they improve, drop, or stay the same in 2023, boys? We'll start off with Lockie.
I think they'll stay the same. I don't really see them going anywhere, to be honest, at this point in time.
Faraz?
They came 11th this year. They came 11th last year. They'll stay around the same rank. But if Ben Hunt does, if Ben Hunt does go down with the injury, they'll definitely be fighting for the spin. I have no doubt in my mind.
Davos, what about you?
I'm actually going to disagree with you boys. I feel like they're going to go down, to be honest, because
that's what I said. Oh wait, I said say.
No, because like, who have they signed next year that's actually decent?
That is true. That is a good point.
And it's like, if I'm being brutal,
Zane
Ben
Musgrove.
Hunt is, him, but he's not the greatest. But Ben Hunt is the only person that's keeping this Dragons club afloat. So that will just sum it up.
Yeah, I have them dropping as well. I'm not too sure it'll be that far. I think maybe 13th. I believe their boundaries. I reckon they'll drop between 15th and 15th and 13th area.
Say Bulldogs and
I'm gonna make you go for us. Sorry.
Oh, thanks, mate. See, the Bulldogs and Dragons are in the same boat for me, but I'm actually keen to see how the Bulldogs are next year. With the Dragons, I'm just bored. There's nothing to look forward to.
Davos, what were you saying before?
I'm gonna call within the first 5 rounds, Anthony Griffin will get sacked.
I think he'll be given more time than that, but I feel like after Magic, it'll happen sometime just after Magic round. So, I mean, Anthony Griffin needs to go. I feel like they were honestly just re-signing Hunt. That way they could let go of Griffin while Hunt's still contracted. And boys, that'll take us to the final team. The team we probably know the most about, the Brisbane Broncos. Boys. Sorry. Not a great season from my boys. I expected better, especially being 4th place after 19 rounds. I'll let someone else talk about it though, because I don't want to go too much. Faraz, what are your thoughts, mate?
Who would have thought now, sitting in October, we'll be talking about the Broncos in such a bad way after finishing 9th. That's probably where we all expect them to finish and be proud of. But it's such an odd season to review. Honestly, like this team, they were top 4 for a moment, and then they just went to being one of the worst teams towards the back end of the season. Yeah, look, it's just embarrassing, you know. Like, I'm going to take my Broncos cap off. That was just embarrassing to watch, and that was putrid. Like, probably one of the worst top 8 tracks in history.
Yeah, definitely. Lockie?
For me as a Broncos fan, yeah, it's frustrating, but I think it was still a brilliant year. There's heaps of positives to come out of it. You look at the likes of we gave Tamari Martin a lifeline. Now look where he is. He's just signed as a number 6 with Warriors. We brought Ezra Mam onto the scene. We've got Selwyn Cobbo, an absolute NRL sensation now. Corey Oates is back to his best. Katoni Staggs was brilliant. Herbie Farmworth, Adam Reynolds, Kurt Capewell, Payne Haas. The list goes on.
I think the Broncos team. Sorry.
Well, no, I don't drag things on like Faraz, but For me, it was still a brilliant year. It was disappointing. We did choke top 8. We were top 4 with 5 weeks here on the season. But it is what it is. We move on to next year. We've got some good names coming again. And for me, we just got to stick around like we have the whole Broncos lifetime.
Yeah, that's very true. Boys, most valued player. I don't think this one's too tough. Actually, no. Yeah.
There are a few.
It's very, very, very tough, I reckon.
We'll start with Lockie, so I think he'll have something different compared to all of us.
Most valued player, I've probably got to go Kurt Capewell. I think that's because
What?
for me, he wasn't. For me, he wasn't a standout, but he was Mr. Reliable. Every week
100%.
in defense, you can rely on Capewell to make that tackle.
Yeah.
There's no, he's going to miss that one. Like, you get shaky when he goes to his side. No. He can kick bloody field goals if you need him to. For me, it's Capewell. I think as the years goes on, he'll turn more into like Matt Gillette. It's just his attack and his line running, which needs improving.
He needs to work on catching the ball as well. Davos?
Yeah, I mean, mine is Pat Carrigan. You know, I thought he was just fantastic this year. Really, I think he was probably the Broncos' best forward, to be quite honest, and he led the pack really well. And
Probably our best player.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason he got picked for Queensland, and he was Wally Lewis medalist as well. So he was fantastic. I love Paddy Carrigan to death. So you know, he's a great player.
Faraz, what about you?
I just love how when I say Carrigan, knows instantly. But I'm actually going to go Corey Oates. A lot of people say Cobbo. A lot of people say Cobbo was our best back this year. I honestly thought Corey Oates was our best back, our best winger of the year. From round 1, he was consistent. He never gets the credit he does. So I think he was in the top 5 leading tries for a second as we speak. His running meters per game, his rush up defense, everything I could say. Even when we got smashed by Parramatta, you could see that game. He saved 3-4 tries. And he's back to his best, and that's what we wanted from Corey Oates. He's so passionate about the Broncos. He loves this club, and I predict he'll be the best player to be for us this year. We improve, and he's proven me right. And he did the job for Queensland game 3. Show Billy he made a mistake by not picking experience in game 2. Corey Oates for me was one of our best.
I'll just get you to get on your knees on that bed behind you. I'll bring him in for you.
But for me, it's Corey Oates. I feel like, did you boys just forget about Oates, or was that honestly?
I didn't forget about Oates, but I had a feeling that.
Of course, you didn't forget about him. You chose him.
Yeah, but no, I had a feeling honestly that this was probably his make or break season, and if he failed, that he'll probably be shipped on for the Broncos. He'll probably retire, maybe.
I was asking if the other boys forgot about him as our best player.
Definitely not.
No, but yeah, for me, Oates. And most improved, I'm just going to knock it out of the way again. Oates. Again, same reason. Reliable. Lachlan's shaking his head. I want to see who you think's our most improved player because if it's not
My-
us, then you're.
I think my answer
will
will shock you guys.
Oh no.
My most improved player would be Corey Jensen.
That's mine exactly. That's mine really.
The guy does not get enough credit. This man
100%.
came from the Cowboys being nearly a nobody. Not many people knew him because he didn't get many games. He started on the bench. He was coming off, absolutely carving up. He started front row against Penrith when we got demolished. It was him and Keenan Palasier, I believe. Absolutely did amazing once again. By the end of the year, he was Mr. Reliable off the bench, and I think he's, for me, he's in the top 3 for best signing of the year for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. For us,
I'm going to go someone else now because like Lachlan saw my answer, but he summed it up really well for me. I'm actually going to sell Cobo. The season that made him as a player, that rised him up. He made his Origin debut. You know, a lot of people thought, oh, this guy, yeah, he's all right. And he struggled the first few rounds, and then he came back strongly for the Broncos. And he's the future star for the Broncos coming up.
yeah, I agree. Davos, what about you, mate?
Look, I'm probably going to get bashed by Lockie for saying this. I'm going to go someone different. I'm going to go Tom Flegler.
I knew as soon as he said, I'm going to get bashed by Lucky for saying this.
I'm going Tom Flegler.
Dead.
Look, I know, Faraz, you can probably agree with me, but I was very critical of Tom Flegler earlier on, and but you know he's definitely proved me wrong. I mean, ever since that Warriors game, you know, he just constantly makes meters off the bench, and you know he provides a lot of impact, and he's definitely cleaned up his attitude. He's a fantastic young player.
Yeah, he cleaned up his attitude because he was too busy wrestling his own teammates in bloody foyers.
Lachlan just looked lost for a whole minute there, questioning his life decisions. Lachlan, would you
How about him against the Warriors at bloody Redcliffe?
Yeah,
that
but
was
what did he
one
do
game.
afterwards? What did he do afterwards? Tim?
Oh my goodness! Is this
What about getting Simbin bloody every second game?
No, he was.
Yeah, his Simmons were soft as well. Bullshit.
Soft, yeah, like your penis.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Yeah, come at me.
Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna have to go with Paddy Carrigan or Corey Oates. Well, I've already said Corey Oates, but Paddy Carrigan, honourable mention. He was great. Actually, no, I'm gonna change to Paddy Carrigan just because I want to be different. I had Oates as most valued. Best signing, boys. Your choices: Ezra Mam, Dean Marrett. Oh wait, no, sorry, rookies. Best signing, boys. Your choices are Adam Reynolds, Kurt Capewell, Branko Lee, Corey Jensen, Jordan Pereira, Billy Walters, and Ryan James. Deloise Hoyter as well. Deloise Hoyter's in there. For us,
Jordan Pereira. No, I'm joking. It's got to be Adam Reynolds without doubt. The club needed a 7. We got a 7 finally. Now we just got to get a hooker now.
Yeah, I agree. Lockie?
For me, it's Billy Walters. I think he fitted that. Let me finish. I think he fitted the hooker role really well. I think from where we were with the number 9, he definitely solidified his position next year. I think he's the next thing bursting onto the scene. But I also think his dad, Adam Reynolds, was definitely the best signing for the Broncos. All year, he led us around the park, try assists, even try scoring. He scored a few himself. But he did, for me, Reynolds did go a bit hot and cold at stages, which is what we don't need. His kicking game was off for a couple of weeks there, 4 to 5 weeks, which hurt us. But again, anyone who looks at the Broncos, they look at Adam Reynolds now, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Davos, what about you?
I'm going my favorite Broncos player and Kurt Capewell. I call him.
Is he your
Mr.
favorite Broncos player?
Yep.
I would have not guessed that at all.
News to me. I thought it was Corey Oates, Patrick Carrigan ahead of him.
Well,
I thought you said you loved Carrigan.
there's a reason why I'll explain now. I mean, because it relates to the best signing, but you know,
Does he play for
I I call Kurt Capewell Mr. Consistent. You know why? Because he's just so consistent. You know, just does his job no matter what. And you know, he's not going to do all the flashy stuff, but he's the teammate that you want to play for and you want to play around. You know, and you know he's very versatile as well. He can move it into centers as well, and he was brilliant for the Broncos this year and the Maroons as well. So yeah, he was definitely my best signing for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about Kurt Capewell? He definitely improved our left edge of defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Hang on. I want to show you something. Look at this running meters from Tom Flegler. Almost 110, and his tackle efficiency is 94.1 for the whole year.
Oh, yeah, I'll just call someone really quick who cares. Hold up. Oh, yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, moving on.
I actually want to point out very quickly, Davos, 94.1% tackle efficiency actually isn't very high for a forward. Half tackles at 98%.
Yeah, but they're making tackles.
I like Flegler though.
I think my bloody grandma, who I don't speak to, could have a bit of tackle efficiency.
Oh, stop it. Stop the bullshit, mate.
Okay, we need to get a Flegler versus Lockie a boxing match going soon. Yeah, for me, best signing has to be Adam Reynolds.
Thomas Flegler is the next Corey Horsburgh. He'll see me and start crying because he gets that angry.
Hey, Rookie of the Year, boys. Broncos Rookie of the Year contenders.
Ezra
Mam, Dean Mariner, and Zach Hosking. I think it's pretty simple. Lachlan's already said his. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Ezra Mam. Faraz, I'm guessing I already know what you're going to say.
I was going to say Delise Slota, but he's not a rookie, so I'm going to go Ezra Mam.
Yeah, that's fair. And Davos.
Ezra Mam.
Okay. Now, boys, we're getting to the end of the stream.
Ezra Mam sort of look alike, to be honest.
In what sense?
Pass or fail season plus finishing grade, boys. We'll start off with Davos.
I'm going to go a pass. A big pass, considering the Broncos finished 14th the year before. And, you know, you might have finished 9th, but, you know, the way... to be honest, 9th didn't reflect how you guys played the whole year. And my finishing grade, you're going to be surprised. I'm actually going to give the Broncos a B+, to be honest.
That's fair. Lockie.
For me, it's a pass, but I'm only going to give them a C+. Due to the last 2 years with the history and where they've finished, you've got to give them a pass mark of how much they've improved. Even though they didn't make top 8, they're still probably the biggest improvers this year.
Cowboys.
I'm also... What is it?
Cowboys will be most...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about them. But I also wouldn't put them in the Bs either because from where they were sitting, you do expect them to make the 8 from there. But it's a pass mark.
And Faraz, have I gone to you yet?
No. So. If this happened next year, it's definitely a big fat fail. But for now, it's a pass because we've actually got a roster now that can compete for the top 8. I think we can all agree with that.
I'm gonna go a pass. I'm gonna go a flat C. I'm gonna go a flat C.
I'll go C-. You just can't choke the top 8 like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a flat C as we have a compliment for Davos. Luke says Davos is looking sharp.
Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, just trying looking good for the podcast, and yeah, you'll definitely see more.
Is it because he's a Melbourne fan like you, Luke?
No, it's not Luke, Melbourne Storm fan.
Oh,
it's
that's right.
He goes for Broncos.
My bad.
But if you haven't already, I don't usually dish out to other pages, but this man is very underappreciated. Luke runs a page called LJ Rugby League. Very great page, very great graphic design.
Very good page.
Great content. I post a lot with him on my Broncos account. I do none of the work whenever he posts. He just sends it to me and goes, "Look, can you just accept the proposal?" And I was like, "Yep." So yeah, he's great creator. Make sure you go follow him on your Instagram. Get him to. I forgot what he's up to now, but he needs 1K. He needs to be at 1K. There's more followers than any pages I know put together. Honestly, boys. Predicted finish compared to actual finish. And then we have one more after this. But Faraz, where'd you have Broncos finishing?
This makes me so sad, but I have an 8th. They had to just win one more game and they had me exactly on the money. But yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Lockie, what about you?
You guys won't believe it, but I actually had them 9th. I've literally got the ladder. I've got the ladder sitting in front of me.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh my.
So I knew they were going to improve, but I had them at the start of the year. I always had them from that 6 to 10 spot, where in between there they were going to finish. And I put them at 9th, and here we are, heartbroken months later.
Now, Davos, where do you have Broncos?
I had them 7th. So it's pretty frustrating to see my second favourite team, obviously not finishing the top 8. But, yeah, it's hopefully a lot better year for the Broncos next year.
Yeah, I had them finishing 7th, just like Davos. Yeah, disappointing. Will they improve, drop, or stay the same in 2023, boys?
Improve.
This is a tough one for me. Yeah, you're gonna go improve, Davos.
Improve.
Faraz.
This is a tough one because they can easily be a top 5-6 team, but they can literally just choke like they did this year. But you know what? I think just because Reece Walsh signing, I think we're going to improve massively. I think he'll take the pressure off Reynolds when it comes to point scoring. I think we'll improve. I think we'll make the top 8 next year. That's my early call. And it's not because I'm biased, but I believe
Red Premier's next year, brother.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna, as a Broncos fan, it pains me to say I'm gonna. It's not really too hard. Improve slightly. I think we'll finish 8th, around there.
8 to 7.
I don't.
But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we're 5th or 6th around next year, around round 23, around 24, because we are capable. We are capable of taking to the top sides.
So,
but we lost to the Tigers as well. So
we have a fullback now. We have a 6 and a 7. It's just the 9.
Do you think Paige will start next year?
Which we do have a 9. Pakes, Walters, Smoothie, Madden. If we
just
need
don't have
to,
a great 9.
we just don't have like a Harry Grant, Damien Cook, Appy Coruscant, or something like that.
By the way, keep an eye out, boys. Blake Moser. Remember the name, Blake Moser.
Very good player.
I'm hoping he debuts next year. I really hope.
From what I saw in that Origin game, I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, no, but that Origin. Okay, to be fair, that Origin game he did not play very great. You have to watch some of his other.
No one did, to be honest.
None of the
Did he get smashed?
Yeah,
it wasn't great, to be honest.
He got sent off he got binned as well, Blake Moser, that game. But that'll about do us, boys. Before I hand it over to Lockie to hand it off, to finish it off, I just want to quickly say, if you don't already know, we'll be doing 2 more streams over the next 2 days, tomorrow and Thursday night, which will be the Insider 4, which is 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th, and then the top 4, obviously. But yeah, so make sure to tune into those, but I'll hand it over to Lockie to finish us off.
Before we move on really quick, just a quick mention. Tomorrow, big day for Davos and I. Our 2 teams open the NBA season. The 76ers versus the Celtics and the Lakers versus the Warriors. Before we quickly go on, who are your tips for tomorrow? No one.
Oh, are they all like free to watch? Because if they are, I'll watch them.
Yeah, they're all on KO tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
Who's the opening?
So 76ers versus Celtics, is that it? The first one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Davos, I'm going to go Celtics. And Lakers versus who?
Warriors.
I'm sorry, Lockie. I'm going to have to go Warriors with that one. Golden State, they're just, Steph Curry, he's too good. But, what about you?
Just before I answer, isn't that game on at 10:30 a.m. Sydney time, New South Wales?
Yeah, because I think it's 9:30 my time.
I'm sorry, Davos. Yeah, I'm sorry, Davos, but I'm going to go to the Celtics. And for the Warriors game, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan myself, so I'm going to back my boys.
Bandwagon. Oh, whoops.
Faraz?
Not Faraz. Davos?
I'm always going to back in my 76ers. My boys, Joel Embiid's going to absolutely shut up all of his haters, and I'm going to go an upset. I'm going to go the Lakers. They're going to have a very good year.
Bloody oath we are, brother. I've got,
Bloody
sorry
oath.
to break your hearts, I've actually got the Celtics over your team. Thanks for backing mine. But
that's all right, mate. I'll just prove you guys
I've
wrong.
actually got money on this first round. Most importantly, gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
I've thrown $15 on it's paying $4,500. So
Yes,
if
yes,
I
yes.
win it, I'll give you a little share. All three.
You better have Cavaliers winning. You better have Cavaliers winning. If I'm not sure.
But my picks are Celtics, and I've actually Warriors being champs. They will have their ring ceremony tomorrow night as well, which will make them more up and about getting the ring for the championship. So I have backed the Warriors, but I've backed the Warriors for the money, but I'm hoping Lakers win, but I also don't because I also want money. But and who'd you say? Cavaliers?
Yeah, it's Cavs versus Raptors. If you have Raptors, I'm actually going to be so sad.
That's a tough game though to predict. Yeah, you got the Raptors.
Just go away.
No, but that's justified though.
That's not justified. Nothing is justified.
The two games I struggled with was Blazers and Kings.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
I've gone the Kings.
No, do not go. The Kings are hopeless, mate. They're the same as the Tigers. They have not played playoffs for 12 years.
And the other one was Hornets and Spurs.
Oh my god, that's the bloody rubbish teams.
Please tell me
Hornets.
Oh no, wait,
Hornets
haven't injured.
I've gone Hornets.
Do not tip the Spurs in any game. They're bloody hopeless. They're gonna win the spoon and they're gonna pick up bloody Victor Yemenwana.
And that will wrap us up for the review of 12th, 11th, 10th, and 9th. We'll be back tomorrow night for the start of the top 8, the bottom 4 of the top 8. So stay tuned to the Instagram at the Final Sign Podcast. Make sure you follow over there because you'll see when we're going live tomorrow night. It'll be the same time as tonight. We hope that we entertained you once again. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well at Final Sign Podcast. We'll like you to come back if you have enjoyed. And that has been Noah, Davos, Faraz, and myself. We'll be back tomorrow night. Be there, be square. We'll see you there. Make sure to bring some underwear.
If the Titans don't win soon, I will jump off a cliff. I will legitimately jump